Coach, how do you see Perry Clark being used, and what do you think he's going to add to your bench?
Oh, I'm going to throw out a number here, and this is either going to give you his age or it's going to give you an idea of the experience he has. You know, as a head coach, he's won close to 400 games, you know, and that's powerful. You know, that means that guy's been in a lot of situations in a college basketball game, and that only helps. You know, he's recruited. Here's something, because we today's day and age of technology, you know, we all remember the next hot guy. When PC was the assistant at Georgia Tech with Coach Cremins, they had the freshman of the year 6 consecutive years in the ACC. That's unheard of. That's ridiculous. And that's the kind of recruiting that he's been exposed to for so long. Those are the kind of players that he recruits. He understands the world of recruiting like not a lot of people. And that's a benefit to the guys on our staff.
Frank, obviously there's a lot of attention on the newcomers here. But how have the guys you had last year who were back, the returnees, how have they looked? And are you going to have to lean on them like they're upperclassmen, even if they're not?
Yeah, absolutely. Mendaugas is a lot stronger than he was at any time last year, and that's something that he couldn't sustain the strength part of it when we got into the beef of the schedule. Well, he's prepared himself to have a better season than he did a year ago. You know, Mike is healthy. Mike, you don't have to worry about Mike's motor. That thing runs when he's sleeping. But Mike, he's healthy, so now he can get in shape, and which he is, and he can sustain effort and mentally. When that body gives in, you lose your mind, and now he's in a place where he can sustain. You know, Ty's been real good with those young guards. You know, he's been real good. Like in the first 2 practices, when he's on defense, he physically tries to dominate those young kids, but doesn't try to embarrass them and show them up. You know, he just tries to beat them on a play, and when the play's over, he'll go over and say, "Yo, man, you can't do that." You know, it's A, B, and C, and that's what being a good teammate is. And across the board, Limonis is better than he was last year. He actually doesn't run up and down twice and kind of fall over. I told him all the time, it's kind of embarrassing as a basketball coach to put a guy in a game that when he runs twice, he has to hunch over and grab his shorts and looks like he's going to pass out. If that's the best shape you're in, I can't put you in a game. That's embarrassing. But he's in better shape, and Brent Williams is a better player. When they understand. Brent actually, I found out this year, he actually speaks. I didn't know he spoke. I was starting to learn sign language so I can communicate with him. But they're all better. They all understand things better. They're excited. And the thing that they're doing the best is helping those young kids. That has to continue.
Frank, I believe Brenton will be the only upperclassman up until Tyrone and Bruce come back. Just what are you going to need from him during that time?
I might ask Bruce to play with his face mask on. He looks a lot better with that helmet on than he does without it. Brent has to be who he is. You know, Brent doesn't have to rediscover a new personality. Brent has to be the best Brenton Williams that he can be. Towards the end of last year, I think Brent finally started comprehending, and he started making a turn and being consistent with who he is, which then allowed me to play him. And I think there's no surprise you saw him have some success, that last 5, 6, 7 games of the year. Averaging whatever, 17 points a game, whatever he did coming down the stretch. I don't know if he'll average 17 a game or do I care. But he played like a productive player, and that's what I want him to do. I want him to be comfortable in his own skin.
Frank, how much does it help in practice that Michael has a lot more height to go against in practice this year, since last year he didn't have that much, then was kind of lost in some of the games?
Huge. Him and Desmond have already been tangled up under the basket because he tries to move Desmond, and Desmond won't budge.